version. The Port Angeles chapter.
Yeah.
Uh,
Same as mine.
and that was like when I got there, and the reason I started feeling kind of like irritated.
This is where I have one of my notes at the top of the page, and I instantly remembered why I was pissed off when I got into this chapter. Go on.
It was just like at this point we're 150 pages into the novel, so that's what I mean. Like this is my kind of cutoff for most novels. I'll give everything 150 pages, and if it's not getting me by then, I'll probably stop reading it. So at this point, I was like, all right, I'm reaching my first initial. I'll stop reading it if I wasn't doing a podcast on it, but that's where I was just like, man, nothing is at stake yet. I am 150 pages in, so I'm like a third of the way through this novel, and nothing is at stake. Like, what is at stake here? Nothing.
Yeah. So at the end of the chapter right before this, I wrote, what was the point of this chapter? To build up to the Port Angeles chapter? Because I sort of like had some memory of what was going to happen.
Right.
And that like something even minor like was gonna happen. And I was like looking at it, I was like, oh, she reads. And like the whole build up to this chapter is like basically references to Bella reading Jane Austen novels and to having her plans initially canceled. And I was like, what? I was like, wait, what? Like, what was the purpose of it? Then, yeah, on the first page of chapter 8, I was already kind of frustrated when we got there. And she says, it had been a while since I had a girls' night out, and the estrogen rush was invigorating. And I was like, when was the last time, like, when have you ever had a girls' night out? I don't get any sense that you're like a girls' night out kind of bitch.
The estrogen
Or
rush.
that, like, the estrogen rush is a thing for you. Like, the thing that I wrote here was like, does she actually like these girls? Like, are we supposed to believe that she likes these people? Because up until now in the book, like the people that she's hanging out with, I don't get the sense she actually enjoys. Which is not like untrue to life, right?
Yeah, I was gonna say it's very
We don't
female.
like
Yeah,
all the time.
it's a very female friendship. There's I like you, but I kind of don't. Like, yeah, I mean,
I
it's
like you, but mostly I hang out with you because I don't want to hang out at home, and I
well,
like to talk shit about you later.
right. Yeah, so that's very normal, and like it's one of those things that's like it is a normal kind
But
of
she's not like other girls.
like it is a normal real thing. But sometimes, like this is why I kind of take issue when people say honesty when we're talking about books. Obviously, we're talking about fucking Twilight, so it's not. Oh, it's an honest, humanity,
It's
like some
an honest
capturing
book.
humanity. Yeah, but it's like when we say that, so it's like some honest things just don't do well in novels. Like I don't want honest dialogue because honest dialogue's fucking boring. Like I want.
Yeah.
And I think that's part of the problem with this is that it's like real. It's kind of trying to be like actual real teens having an awkward conversation together, figuring out how to flirt
Without having built a full character.
without having built the character. But it's also like, that's boring. Like teens awkwardly trying to flirt is not exciting. Like that's why you
For
dress up dialogue when
for,
you're
for a
fiction. Yeah,
teenage for
right.
teenage me, it was plenty exciting.
So that's the thing
It's
too. Yeah,
adequately exciting.
I
It's
never
like
read
it
this.
plays on all of these like desperate like insecure things. Even in this chapter when they're talking about like Bella's life in Arizona and one of her friends asks her like, didn't you ever go out with like a boyfriend or something when you lived in Arizona? And she was like, I've never had a boyfriend or even anything close. Like, I didn't go out much. Which then again brings me back to the first moment of this chapter when we're like, it's been a while since I had an estrogen rush. Like, they just sound like,
Just saying that out loud. Dude, just
they just sound like voices that belong to different people.
Just saying that out loud, like it's been a while since I've had an estrogen rush. It's
Well,
just
that's
so
why you picture it as something almost like sarcastically said, you know?
yeah.
It's been a while since I had an estrogen rush, but like it doesn't even read that way, really. She says it was invigorating. Like, and I don't buy her as an ultimately sarcastic. Like, it wants to be both things. And so do teenagers, and that
Right.
makes sense. But like, we have to be able to buy into it, and I don't buy into it.
Yeah.
Like,
That
it's just it doesn't read the same. Like, there's a missing connecting piece.
and I didn't read this when it was coming out and big because again, like I already said, I was a teenage boy at the time this came out, so I was very much like fuck Twilight, that's lame, uh trying to be
Maybe it's that
cool.
we don't get her like like her interior life is just not that complicated.
Yeah, which is true for a lot of teens, but it's like also like but I am nostalgic for Harry Potter, which is something we'll get into on this pod. We plan to eventually, listeners, do Harry Potter the stuff way we're doing Twilight here, but it's like I texted Sophie about this during the week as we were reading it. Like I kept at that point, chapter 8, and I'm like, there's nothing at stake so far, and we've had 150 pages
Oh
of
my God.
novel. I was like, Potter, like, say what you will about the young adult genre, say what you will about the millennials and their fantasies with like obsession with these IPs. It's like, all right, at least Harry Potter had something at stake from page one. Like page one, they're dropping off a strange baby at a strange house by these unusually strange people that can turn the fucking lights out at will. And we're just like, hold on, what, and that starts it. Like here, what do we start with? We start with, I'd never given much thought to how I would die. It's just like
Yeah.
it's not the same. They're not even on the same level. That's why Harry
Well,
Potter is a
but
billion
that's
dollar
the only
empire
thing
with
that's
theme
ever at
parks.
stake. It's Bella might die. And it's never that we think that like Edward is the problem, even though he's like, I'm the danger. And in some way, he is putting her to to some degree in the way of danger.
Right.
Uh, but like, can we, come on. Like, takes two. Okay. And also, it's just the only thing it's the only thing that happens. Like is that like it's the ultimate like weird savior fantasy where she needs constant saving and she's like, I don't want to need to be saved. But that's the only thing that happens throughout this whole thing. Whenever action is happening, it's because Bella is a damsel in distress.
Yeah.